everyone, Jared Tucson here for the PopStart 12 to watch, and today I'm here with Sophia Troncoso, one of Opera Queensland's young rising stars. How are we today?
I'm doing really well. It's a beautiful day, Jared.
I know, it's such a stunning day today, but would you be able to start off by telling us how you began your journey as an opera singer?
Yeah, sure. I began my journey like a lot of singers begin, and that's with great music education and public schools. And I sang in choir my whole life. My parents were both kind of bohemian, artsy musician types, so it's just what I knew. And I had a really good high school choir teacher who really pushed me to pursue solo voice. And I started studying with a private singing teacher, an opera singer, at about 17. And that was it. That was just the rest of, my future kind of rolled out in front of me. And I kept on studying opera in uni and for my master's, and now I'm working in the business.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And would you be able to tell me, I'm sure you've had many achievements so far, but what do you think has been your greatest achievement, or one of them?
Well, actually, I moved to Brisbane about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, and I was really lucky. Opera Queensland hired me pretty much right off the bat to do The Marriage of Figaro right here at QPAC, and I played Susanna, and that's just it's a big leading role. She's on stage for most of the opera, and it's just been a real bucket list. So to date, that's probably been my biggest achievement, a leading lady role for Opera Queensland right here.
Yeah, for sure. And what does your creative process typically look like? Like, how do you perform, get ready for a show?
So it all starts off pretty simply and kind of boring, to be honest, but the foundation of being a good performer in opera is really dotting your I's and crossing your T's. So really just learning the material really well, reading source material, so maybe the play that it comes from, or maybe the poem that it's based on. And we usually sing in other languages, not always. There's a lot of operas in English too, which are amazing. But for example, if you're singing in Italian, you want to make sure that you know what every word means and that you're pronouncing it really well. And you want to make sure all your notes and rhythms are right, and that you just are on top of it, so that you can really perform and emote once you have all that material really in your body. So my process is learn the material really well, coach it, and then the day of shows I like to do some yoga, go for a walk in the bush, take my dog out with my husband, have a good few meals, and stretch, warm up, and then just go on stage, really inhabit the character.
Yeah. And are there any key themes or ideas that you love to explore within your work?
Sure, yeah, I'm really lucky because as an opera singer and classical singer, we're gifted this rich repertoire that really explores the gamut of the human experience. So whether it's love or loss, power, or inequality, we really kind of explore all of those major themes and everything in between. And I try to bring a human aspect to every character that I play, every song that I sing. I like to kind of open up my own experience and let that influence my character. I think that's the only way that it's really worth watching or listening to.
Yeah, definitely. And is there out of anywhere in the world, where has been the best place that you've performed?
That's really hard to choose because I'm terrible. I fall in love with every city that I work in. So it used to be, surprisingly, and it still is, Glasgow, Scotland, where Scottish Opera is. I spent a lot of time there working for them and as a young artist for them. And I just fell in love with the city, the culture, the people, the food, and just being able to travel around the UK. But I recently worked in Sydney for Pinchgut Opera and kind of had a love affair with Sydney for 5 weeks. I just really loved it there. So I have to say, it's really hard to choose. I really have loved all the cities that I've worked in.
Yeah, for sure. And what do you think, living in Brisbane, what do you think is the greatest challenge for emerging creatives in this city?
That's a really good question, especially in the opera world. A lot of cities share similar challenges, unless you're somewhere like Germany where there's an opera house in every little town. But, Australia actually has an awesome opera scene. There's opera houses in every major city, and there's a lot of regional work going on too, people touring, whether, Opera Queensland tours and But one of the biggest challenges, I think, is that there's a lot of talent out there. It's really competitive, and there's not that much work on offer because there's only so much funding that our opera companies get. So I can't say that there's a specific challenge in Brisbane. I've been really lucky because I'm not originally from here, so I do think that I have the privilege of being seen as an international artist, and I think that people really love that in Australia. But I do think that it probably is harder for Australian artists because they're not seen as other, which is too bad because there's really wonderful Australian artists working here, and there are a lot of local people working for companies like Opera Queensland and Pinch Gut, and we love to see that.
Yeah, definitely. And where would you like to see yourself in the future, say in about 5 years' time?
Yeah, I was thinking this one over. You know, I used to be a big planner, and I think we've all learned over the really rough 2 years that the world has gone through that well-placed plans, you know, so you just can't really 100% plan your future. So I'm actually happy to just stick to the present and not future dwell. I just have some personal goals. I'd like to be more mindful. I'd like to be more involved in my community. I'd like to be, you know, really financially independent. Wouldn't we all? Like to, you know, choose happiness. And I'd like to be, you know, more badly behaved for the right reasons.
I love that. I feel like we all need to be a bit more in the present at the moment. But yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, thank you so much for speaking with me today, and I can't wait to see what's in store for the future. Thank you.
Great.
So much.
Oh, my pleasure. Can I actually plug a couple of things?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I'm so shameless. So July 2nd, I'm doing a recital with Alex Ranieri for the Brisbane Music Festival. There's a lot of amazing entrepreneurs in this town doing great work in small organizations, and Brisbane Music Festival is one of them, so check it out. And I'm also doing a series of concerts with Camerata on the 7th, 8th, 9th of July. The 7th is right here in QPAC, and they're another amazing small organization. They're Queensland's Chamber Orchestra, and they're doing really cool repertoire stuff that other people are not doing. So yeah, come and check us out this July.
Yeah, amazing. I'll definitely be checking that one out. So I hope to see everyone else there. Thank you.
Thank you.